Hey, what's going on? I'm Hollywood Pap, and this is Behind the Track. Now, this track right here is called Hands on Your Thighs. Now, this track right here was one of those, like, LSG, like that, sing to me, baby. That baby making music. This is like that old school 90s R&B. Matter of fact, you can put some 80s in there. Like, this was like all of the 70s, 80s, 90s, a little bit of 2000 pushed all into one track. It's like, a lot of tracks might be, bitch, I'll fuck the shit out you. I'll put my dick in your esophagus and you just out here with the bladder infection. Like, wasn't trying to do that on this track. It was more like, like rose petals type vibe, champagne, bubble bath, soft music, lights dim. That's the vibe I got when I was creating this track. So I was like, I gotta keep it, So how I came up with this track was just in my studio one day and just vibing, playing with the keys and everything. I'm like, oh, this is one of those, the way I was touching the keys, I'm like, this is very gentle, soft. And that energy just went through the keys into the motherfucking computer, and then now I got the melody down pat. I said, the melody already is just fire. And I didn't even put no drums on it. And then once I heard the melody, I already had the hook. I started listening to the melody, I ran straight into the booth and just laid the hook down. Then I came back, I'm like, nigga, you can't make a track with no drums and kicks or nothing like that. I was like, you right, nigga. So I just ran back to the computer and just started laying down the drums and everything. And I said, you on to something. But now I'm like, I can't come up with a verse, because the verses I'm thinking about is like, bitch, bladder infection, dick all in your esophagus. It's like, no, we're not going with that vibe. So since I couldn't really match that energy, I shelved it. I shelved that shit. So now that was like probably like super early 2000s, 2020. That's like right there, super early. Like, yeah. So I'm like, this ain't gonna work. I gotta shelf you. So I shelved it. Then later on, I'm like, yo, in life, like 2022, early 2022, I'm like, I need a track. So I'm in the gym working out and stuff like that. And then I hear my track, because I was listening to music while I'm in the gym, and then as my shit is shuffling, it played this track. I'm like, oh, I forgot about your black ass. How are you? And the song is just bopping and vibing. I'm like, oh, you doing good. All right. Hit the desert. All right. Okay. All right. I like that. So now I'm like, yo, this shit is dope. So now I'm in my head like, yo, when I get to the motherfucking crib, it is over. I am going to super lay something down. So now I'm in the motherfucking gym, and then I just come up with the bridge. I'm like, this shit is dope. It actually has that sensual feel. It's not like, bitch, I'm gonna pull all 10 inches in you. You gonna be walking like you got Tourette's or something like that for a few days. You might need a wheelchair, bitch. I was like, nah, this is one of those, when you get home, baby, it's on. On to the on and on. So I was like, yo, fuck it. So left the gym, went to my crib, and then got to the studio, and I just said, fuck it. I laid down that bridge, and I said, you know what? Since I'm on this vibe, let me cut down the verse. So I got into the booth and just spoke from my heart, and then laid it down. once I laid it down, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna shelf this shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put this on the album. Matter of fact, it made the album. So, that song right here, Hands on Your Thighs, is my shit. I know it's gonna be your shit too. Believe that. Hands on your thighs.